start questioning that we'll bang the button.
Do you believe that shipping is important to the United States economy as well as the world economy?
I do.
Do you support shipping through the melted polar ice cap?
I don't know anything about that. You mean just like ships moving through the ice caps for like?
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of the
Yeah.
resolve. So you
Yeah.
do support that, so you support the resolve.
No, I'm negative on myself.
But you support shipping through the melted polar ice cap, which is part of the resolve.
That's like one point of it. Like there can be multiple things going through the polar ice caps. It doesn't necessarily need to be like people going to like mine oil or.
Would you agree that access to the polar ice caps would be considered viable shipping lanes?
Time out, I just need to get the question, would you agree what, Steve?
Would you
Agree.
agree that shipping through the polar ice caps would be considered access to the polar ice caps via
No.
shipping lanes? Okay, I'll just
Sorry.
So, do you believe that minerals are
Oh,
important?
but listen,
Like,
hang on.
okay, go ahead.
It's okay to coach you up here. If you get a no answer there, is that what you got?
I got a yes, so.
Would you agree that shipping through the polar ice cap should be considered access? Yes. Yeah, then you're getting everything you want on shipping is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so I'm moving
No,
on
I
now.
said
So you move on. Huh?
I don't understand his question.
So,
Let's
So
time
if-
out.
If
Yeah,
a ship
just
is
time
going
out.
through
Time
the
out.
polar.
so part of the resolve is access to the melted polar ice caps, which is also considered the shipping lanes that would be opened up from the melted ice, which are now opened up.
Oh.
See what I'm saying?
Your resolve, yeah, that's what I'm a
That's
little worried
like-
about what you
yeah.
just did there, because
It
see, the
kinda-
polar ice belt is a reality. Therefore, we should take advantage of economic and political opportunities via
So, like,
access
if-
there.
If
So
the region's
shipping,
melted, then you could go through it. That's like the viable.
Yeah.
that's
Right.
the access.
Okay.
And you're arguing against that, so you have to decide whether it's okay for your team to lose the shipping part of this argument and fight back on the mining and oil drilling and other stuff, or whether you need to fight on the shipping side of it as well, you know, like, so I don't know exactly where you are in that. You might not have understood what he was driving at.
Do you understand an hour? Should I
Yeah.
just move on?
Yeah, you know what, we'll keep time out. Actually, we'll stop the time and let you actually start. How far had they gone?
3:50 seconds.
So, don't do anything with the clock. Start at the beginning. Now that you do
Do it
understand,
again?
yeah, just ask the same damn questions again.
Okay.
What he's asking you is it okay, you know, for ships to go through there? Because for them, that's their argument. Ships can go through there, then they can start doing what they need to do. They can do it with ships. You gotta think this out.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so you said
Sorry.
shipping was important, right?
Shipping is important. You get a yes to that.
That's fine.
Do you support shipping
That's
through
great.
the melted polar ice caps?
No.
And now,
Right.
go ahead.
So-
I'm still sore.
As you may or may not be aware, the current shipping route is longer than shipping through the polar ice caps. Are you aware of that? Do you know how much, in terms of like oil and time and money, it would save to ship through the polar ice caps?
Probably a lot.
So it would save 100 tons of fuel per trip. A ton is about 328 gallons, I think. So that's a lot of gas. So that's 300,000 gallons. Save 22 days and $600,000. So you're going to be actually helping the environment. You're going to be putting less carbon in the atmosphere if you're shipping through the polar ice caps. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So would you agree that minerals are important in the United States as well as the world? Minerals, gold, commodities. What negative effect would mining minerals in the polar ice caps have?
It would release CO2 in the atmosphere and it would further melt the polar ice caps.
How would it release CO2 in the atmosphere?
Like the equipment, like all
Okay.
the.
All right. Would you agree though that minerals are going to be mined outside the polar ice caps regardless of where they come from? They're just going to be coming from the polar ice caps. If they're
So
not.
time out, because that's a good exchange. Are minerals valuable, you know, to all economies? Don't go there. And the answer to that was yes. Will CO2 get into the atmosphere from mining, right? The answer to that was yes. How? Via equipment. Okay. And processing and so on. And now, go ahead, Steve, I interrupted you. Go ahead, keep going.
Would you agree that if they're not mined in the polar ice caps, they will be mined in other places? So CO2 will be released no matter where they're mined. So location is irrelevant.
No,
Why does it matter where the CO2 is coming from so long as it is being released into the environment?
because we are not going to do that, like.
We are doing that currently.
Okay, but if we set a good example, and we don't do that with the polar ice caps, then we can save them glaciers that have been sustaining us for years, and we can set a good example, and we can reduce our carbon footprint and reduce our transportation.
Minerals are going to be mined regardless of where they're mined, correct? So moving to the polar ice caps is not going to change the fact that minerals are being mined and releasing carbon.
It's changing a lot of things.
How is it changing?
It can create competition.
How is
And
that
it can
pertaining to
create-
CO2 in the atmosphere?
No, just by getting them with the minerals.
Minerals are going to be mined regardless of where they're mined, correct?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where they're being mined. Machinery operated on land is going to release carbon as well as on the polar ice caps. So it doesn't matter where they're being mined, carbon is going to release to the same amount.
It's not the same amount.
How will it be different? We're going to mine greater on land if we don't have resources. If we have more minerals coming from the polar ice caps, we're going to mine less on land.
What do you want to
Do
say?
I have, how much time do
30 seconds.
I guess. So, do you believe that we should leave the polar ice caps alone as the United States? So, do you think that we should let other countries get involved there? How are we going to stop other countries from getting involved?
We put some sort of agreement between the other countries to not touch the polar ice caps.
Do you think that that has potential to start conflict by telling countries they can't have polar ice caps?
That's good. Steve, good. And Hannah, it's challenging, right, to figure out how to